Messages of support are pouring in from all over the city for the quick recovery of Baltimore City Police Sergeant Isaac Carrington. Right now, he is in the intensive care unit at Shock Trauma.
A gunman wearing a mask shot Carrington yesterday afternoon in northeast Baltimore, near the corner of Frankford and Summerfield Avenues. WJZ stays on the story with team coverage. Rachel Carden is live in the northeast Baltimore neighborhood. But first, we start with investigator Mike Halgren live in southwest Baltimore, where police are looking for those suspects right now. A lot of police activity behind you, Mike.
Lynn and Tim, it's a very active scene. Let's take a look. We're just off Annapolis Road here. You can see they've got some streets blocked off, a number of police cars here. We have confirmed through sources that this is related to the shooting of the sergeant, but nothing more yet. And someone here at the scene, a police officer, told me they are on their trail right now. Let's take a look at Chopper 13 overhead as well, showing some of the police activity in the area here in South Baltimore. This has all just started unfolding within the past hour. Also, another update. We just learned that the sergeant is in surgery at the moment.
Baltimore Police Sergeant Isaac Carrington is still recovering after being shot yesterday while off duty during a robbery outside his home.
We're working on finding evidence, finding video, finding witnesses, and putting it all together to make sure we find who did this and hold them accountable so that they can pay and justice can be served. And we will prosecute them and make sure that they're prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Police say Carrington was talking to his neighbor in his front yard in northeast Baltimore's Frankford neighborhood when an Acura drove up. A masked man got out and demanded their property at gunpoint. Sergeant Carrington and his neighbor ran in opposite directions. The gunman chased Carrington and opened fire.
Broad daylight shootings and murders in the city of Baltimore is totally unacceptable.
4 members of the Baltimore Police Department have been victims of violent crime in the past month. A civilian employee who was stomped in a robbery near headquarters, a deputy commissioner robbed at gunpoint, and a sergeant wounded while responding to an active shooter at a methadone clinic. Senator Ben Cardin tweeted today, "My thoughts are with Sergeant Carrington on life support after yesterday's shooting, his family and his colleagues. I hope for swift recovery and follow through on Baltimore Police's investigation." Governor Hogan again tweeted about the need for tougher mandatory sentences, something he told WJZ hours before the shooting.
We push for tougher sentencings for repeat violent offenders who commit crimes with guns, and that's one that's really going to have an impact on those repeat shooters.
Right now, there is a $19,000 reward for anyone with information that leads to an arrest in Sergeant Carrington's shooting.
And let's go live to Chopper 13. We believe it's over the Acura, the blue Acura that the suspects were driving, the masked suspects who caused all this terror and chaos yesterday. On the ground here, there is still a very large distance here off Annapolis Road. They've got some of these side streets blocked off, a number of police officers from multiple agencies right now. We're still waiting for an update on exactly how this relates to the case. I know that they are on the trail of these suspects, and what is happening here where I am is in connection to the shooting of the sergeant. So we're going to continue to keep monitoring developments here. Still an active scene here off of Annapolis Road. That's the latest. Reporting live, Mike Halpern, WJZ.
Thank you, Mike. And of course, WJZ coverage continues this noon. We're joined now with Rachel Carden, live in northeast Baltimore, neighborhood where Sergeant Carrington was shot and where he lives. Rachel?
And I believe I'm standing very close to where that shooting happened. This was all part of the crime scene yesterday. The public was not able to pass through this area. People who live in these homes were not even able to pass through this area. So again, several neighbors we haven't spoken to today, but we plan to get their reaction as well. An eerie calmness as police investigated.
Just kind of letting you know that you can't escape it.
After 22-year member of the Baltimore Police Force, Sergeant Isaac Carrington, was gunned down in his own front yard. Neighbors frantically tried to figure out what happened.
My son-in-law, Mr. Brady, and his neighbor, the officer that lived across the street from him, were approached by individuals who attempted to rob them.
As parents raced home to check on their kids, they were stopped outside the crime scene, anxious to reassure these young witnesses that everything would be okay.
My kids were home, so they heard the gunshot.
Karen Jackson had an uncomfortably close view of what was going on as the investigation unfolded.
Her heart was breaking, knowing this was the scene of a serious crime.
Right around the corner, and that's a shame. I've been here 23 years, and I've never seen anything like this.
Officials say a blue Acura was seen leaving the scene from Summerfield down Todd Avenue.
And things are in no way back to normal out here along Summerfield Avenue. You can actually see 2 police cars parked out front of this sergeant's house. And we have seen other police vehicles passing through this area, still talking to neighbors, still trying to figure out what they saw yesterday and collect any evidence they might have missed. We're live in Northeast Baltimore. I'm Rachel Carden, WJZ. WJZ has the latest on the shooting of City Police Sergeant Isaac Carrington. He is back in surgery at shock trauma today. He was shot multiple times on his front lawn in Northeast Baltimore yesterday afternoon. And there right now is a large police presence in Southwest Baltimore as police search for the suspects. There's a $19,000 reward leading to any arrests. Stay with us for updates on this developing story.